person I want to bring up is Anthony. And Anthony's been a student for, I don't know how long you were a student for, but this guy showed up at everything. So he was here constantly assisting, helping. He's basically been helping coach and everything since he's taken off. Now, you were way behind the 8 ball when you started. You were like super, like we called you Stony a lot because you looked stoned all the time, even though he wasn't on drugs at all. His eyes looked stoned. He was really quiet. He'd mumble a lot. He wouldn't look a girl straight on. And now you are the epitome of the opposite of all of that when you're out flirting. We'll be walking with him just the other day, like a few days ago, walking with him, turn around, and he's over there talking to a girl wandering down the street. He's changed so much, it's incredible. But that goes to his level of commitment. He shows up, he does the work, and he works hard. So let's talk about this idea of rejection. Because you were talking about it earlier today a lot. You were talking about getting rejected, like walking down the beach and all these little realizations you were having during the rejection. Do you remember that?
Yeah, totally.
And like the girl saying, I can't remember exactly what you said, but it was really brilliant. Do you remember what you were talking about? Oh yeah, you were talking about how you had like, how many Insta dates did you have in one day?
Yeah, probably about 5 of them.
You had 5 Insta dates in how many hours?
Yeah, like 5 or 6 hours.
Just meeting girls down by the beach in Santa Monica.
Yeah, totally.
So you see what he does in Santa, you can probably find him in Santa Monica very easily. Yeah. So 5 Insta dates, and how many of those girls were on some level kind of rejecting you or pushing you away, but at the same time, maybe not? How many of them rejected you hard? And how much of that did you take personal? And how much of that did you just let go? I mean, what was that like for you?
Yeah, I would say it was pretty good. I mean, I would say to a degree, all of them were rejecting me in a way. But I wasn't tuning into it essentially. Like, because I already knew like when you approach a girl, you automatically almost have to go through that test. And so knowing that, I kind of was just like prepared for it pretty much. So, you know, when you approach them, it's kind of like they want to know what you're there for and why you're approaching them. You know, it's like, hey, you're beautiful.
And that was the thing you talked about. You said there's this moment, and I think this is brilliant because I say it, but I think the way you said it was good. There's this moment when you approach them and it gets really weird and awkward.
Oh, yeah.
And you said, and a lot of people take that as rejection.
Yeah, it's that what the fuck look.
What the fuck? That's how he put it. The what the fuck look.
It's like, why are you here? Like say something, like, you know, what's your reason for being here? Why are you stopping me? Okay. And you know, if you're in your truth and you have something to say, which is like, you're sexy as hell, this is why I stopped you. Yeah, so like that what the fuck look, it's like...
He's new to the camera, so we're getting him used to it.
Yeah. It's so weird. Yeah. Like, you know, you got to be non-reactive to that, essentially. Like, if you're walking up and you have your truth and you have your reason for being there, then you shouldn't be worried about what to say. Like, what you have to say is already there, and that's your reason for approaching her. Whether she's beautiful, she's sexy, and what she's wearing, you go up and you tell her why you're there. You tell her you're sexy.
So the moment you walk up and say, you know, you're sexy, or you're beautiful, and they give you that what the fuck look, and the old you would have been, fuck, I did something wrong, right?
Totally.
Okay. What does the new you do?
Yeah, it just sits there and waits for her response because I want to, you know.
But how do you feel inside? Like, she's giving you that look, and instead of feeling weird, how do you feel? Tell them that.
Solid and grounded, like totally solid in my body. Because when you do that, you're already turned on when you go over there. So essentially, you're still in that turn on when that happens.
Being in the turn on means?
Yeah, it's just like feeling inside of your body, like
feeling aroused. Feeling excited, feeling passionate, feeling for her, and letting it, and not hiding it. Okay, keep going.
I'm shy a little bit, but yeah, like feeling your balls, and when you're in that, and you tell her that, it almost automatically kind of pulls a response from her that's not a negative one. It's almost like, oh, thank you, or she doesn't know how to take it, but it's not. It's how you perceive the response, and usually she'll be like, oh, okay, thank you, and you can choose to accept that as a negative response, or you can choose to just be like, okay, cool, she received it. And then so like, you know, say, hey, cool, what's up, where are you from? Whatever comes next, you know what I mean? Or you just guide it, like, hey, you got a couple of minutes to talk, and then you go from there. And what I found in that, as long as you're leading and you're not uncertain in your leadership skills, and it goes pretty well. That's how I was able to get all those Insta dates.
So basically, you would go from the what the fuck look to I'm going to stay relaxed even if you got the what the fuck look.
Yeah,
and then she relaxes because you're demonstrating you're masculine by being grounding and staying solid under this awkward moment, this pressure. And then as she relaxes, you create a nice conversation. Then you start walking with her and chatting with her. And then about 5 minutes, 10 minutes of walking with her, you end up sitting somewhere and getting a coffee with her.
Yeah, totally. Yeah. So I'm walking down the promenade with her or anywhere random, just kind of finding out more about her, and she's asking me questions too. So I'm noticing these indicators of interest that are kind of like cool. So
he used a pickup term.
Yeah, that's what I know it to be. But it's for her, her to show that she's actually.
Well, you're just noticing she was interested in you.
Yeah, and it's not just me talking, just chatting off, and she's just like listening to me, not saying anything. So you got to allow yourself.
She's investing and talking to you and getting to know you, and she's showing some interest in you. Good.
Yeah, totally. So
like a human being would if they were interested. So I don't always like the pickup term. It's just me. Good. I like talking like they're human beings, right? Because women are human beings, right? And so we want to connect with human beings, and we need to be human. So
it's a great rapport.
Yeah, connecting rapport. So and then it goes from there. And then is there anything else you can think of that could help them? Because you used to beat yourself up a lot, right?
Yeah, totally.
And how did you get over this beating yourself up and get to the point where you're like, okay, I'm just gonna let it go?
Just realizing that it's a part of the process. Like, they don't know you, you don't know them, so naturally it has to kind of be awkward at first. I mean, it's just the way it is.
What if it's a solid rejection? I don't have time, or don't bother me, or I don't like you, or whatever, and she just walks off.
And you just don't take it personal. It's not you, it's them.
And how did you get to that point where, because the old you would have been, and so. And even the last time you were with us in Europe, I saw most of the time you were fine, but there were 2 times you got really upset. And now you're pretty much letting them all go. You're just like, okay, move on to the next. Talk to somebody else, right?
Yeah. I think it's essentially about being solid with yourself, like knowing yourself.
Okay.
And just being like, okay, I know that wasn't my shit. That's not my shit. That's her shit. So you gotta let her have her. You gotta let her have her shit. She doesn't want to talk to you. She doesn't have to talk to you.
Yeah.
And not beat yourself over, because it's like you said, you're just offering something. You're telling her this is beautiful.
And you're genuinely giving a gift, right?
Yeah, totally.
You're genuinely giving, and you talked about that, by the way. But genuinely giving the gift and not asking for anything in return. If something comes, it's great. I'm gonna enjoy it, and I'm gonna really enjoy it. But if not, I'm gonna let it go.
Yeah, that's huge.
Yeah.
It's saying it and then not expecting the outcome, but just like whatever comes, and I'm just gonna accept it.
Yeah.
So whether she rejects you or she's just like, oh, okay, cool, and then it's that pause where you kind of like, okay, she's still here. So like, you got a couple minutes.
Yeah. And then next thing you know, you two are walking and talking and hanging out, right?
Yeah, totally.
Okay, cool. Is there anything else you want to say to the audience that you think they need to hear right now? It's just coming up in your mind, anything that you want to talk about in this area?
Let's see what I've learned in this last couple of days doing it. Just really don't feed into the negative chatter that's in your head that's telling you don't do this, or because of this I shouldn't be doing this, or this and this. It's just your negative self-talk. You got to kind of just get past that, because what's on the other side of that I've always found is just massive growth and massive gains. So every time I've been out there and I've started feeling guilty about being out there and approaching girls, I'll sit it out and I'll just be like, you know what? Just cut that off. 10 minutes later, 20 minutes later, I'm approaching more girls. Next thing you know, I'm walking down the street with a girl and I'm making out with her. Like,
so I'm curious, where does the guilt come from?
Stories.
You feel guilty, like you're doing something bad, or
yeah. I feel like that, yeah.
And all you're doing is walking up and telling girls they look beautiful, pretty. You're not being an asshole.
Yeah, nah. I mean, because
or sexy or whatever.
Yeah, totally. I mean, it's part of.
And most of them receive it well and are really happy you did it, right?
Yeah,
even if they don't have time to talk to you.
Yeah.
And yet he's feeling guilty. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, you got stories about preying on girls. Like, you've seen a ton of them. They're hot, and it's like I feel bad for sitting here just looking at them and then just picking one out that goes off to.
Yeah.
Like there's a guilt that comes with that. You know what I mean? So
you're being honest and real.
Yeah.
And a lot of guys try to hit on these girls without being honest and real. They try to hide their attraction, hide their turn on, act like they want something else. And the girls all know what's going on.
Yeah, totally.
Do you ever get any girls telling you it's refreshing that you're really honest and direct?
Yeah, I had a girl the other day who was from the UK, and she was like, this is the girl I told her she was really sexy because she had like a bikini on, and I was like, you're really fucking sexy. She received it well. As we're walking along the path, she's like, guys in London, they're not as direct with girls. Like, they gotta be drunk to do it. It's like, you guys in America are really direct, and I was just like, yeah. She liked it. She obviously enjoyed it and wished we were doing it more. Or guys are doing it more in general. So that just shows you that girls actually do want to be approached.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah,
that's good. Well, I appreciate your coming up.
Yeah,
and that was really cool. Thank you.